Hey Libra, welcome back to the channel. Today I need to talk to you about something really significant that the cards are showing me about your journey right now. If you've been feeling like you've been through an intense period of growth and learning, this reading is absolutely for you. I'm going to share what I'm seeing in the cards about this graduation moment you're experiencing, and what's happening with someone from your past who's having second thoughts about losing you. Before we get into the cards, I just want to say that the energy coming through for you right now is really powerful. It's like watching someone finally understand a lesson they've been working on for so long, and now they're ready to move forward with this new wisdom. There's also this interesting dynamic with someone who's realizing what they lost, and I'm going to get into all of that as we go through these cards. Okay, so the first card I pulled for you is the Magician. And honestly, Libra, this card is telling me so much about where you are right now. The Magician represents having all the tools you need at your disposal, having the power to create your reality, and really stepping into your manifesting abilities. What I'm seeing here is that you've been through something that taught you how to use your own power more effectively. You know how sometimes we go through difficult experiences and we come out the other side realizing we're so much more capable than we thought? That's the energy here. The Magician is showing me that you've learned how to take control of your life in a way you couldn't before. Maybe you went through a situation where you felt powerless or like things were happening to you rather than for you. And now you've learned how to be the active creator in your own story. This is such a powerful shift, Libra. You're not the same person who entered this lesson. You've developed skills, awareness, and a sense of personal power that you simply didn't have before. What I love about the Magician appearing here is that it's confirmation that you've integrated this lesson. You're not just intellectually understanding something, you've actually embodied it. You can now take the resources around you, whether that's your talents, your connections, your knowledge, or your energy, and you can consciously direct them toward what you want to create. This is mastery level stuff, and the universe is acknowledging that you've reached this point. I'm also seeing that part of this graduation involves you recognizing your own value in a completely new way. The Magician knows what they bring to the table. They don't doubt their abilities or downplay their gifts. For you, Libra, this lesson might have involved learning to stand in your worth without needing external validation. You've learned that you are the magic. You are the source of your own power, and that's something no one can take away from you. The next card that came through is the Emperor, and this is building on that theme of personal power in such an interesting way. The Emperor is all about structure, authority, leadership, and taking responsibility for your kingdom. When I see this card following the Magician, I understand that you're not just learning to use your power, you're learning to establish yourself as the authority in your own life. You're setting boundaries. You're creating rules that serve you. You're building a life that reflects your values and priorities. Here's what I think the Emperor is really highlighting for you right now. You've graduated from a lesson about not giving your power away. Maybe you used to be too accommodating, too willing to bend to keep the peace, too focused on making others happy at the expense of your own needs. Being a Libra, I know that balance and harmony are so important to you, but sometimes that can lead to people pleasing or losing yourself in relationships. The Emperor is telling me that you've learned how to be fair and firm. You've learned how to maintain harmony without sacrificing your sovereignty. This card is also showing me that you're building something solid right now. After going through this major lesson, you're not just floating around hoping things work out. You're actively constructing a life that has strong foundations. You're making decisions with long-term thinking. You're putting systems in place that support your growth. You're being strategic and intentional about where you invest your time and energy. This is very different from just going with the flow or reacting to whatever comes your way. The Emperor energy also suggests that you're being recognized for your leadership and your ability to handle responsibility. People are starting to see you differently because you carry yourself differently. You have this new sense of authority about you, this confidence that comes from knowing you can trust yourself to make good decisions and handle whatever comes your way. You've proven to yourself that you can be your own protector, your own provider, your own source of stability. That's huge, Libra. I'm also picking up that the Emperor might be telling you that part of your lesson involved learning about healthy masculinity or healthy assertiveness. Not aggression, not dominance over others, but that balanced, grounded energy that can say no without guilt, that can set a boundary without apologizing, that can lead without controlling. You've found that sweet spot between being kind and being a doormat, and that's the graduation we're celebrating here. Now let's talk about Nine of Wands, because this card is really validating everything you've been through. The Nine of Wands shows someone who has been through battles, who has persevered through challenges, who might be a bit weary but is still standing strong. This card acknowledges that getting to this graduation point wasn't easy for you. You had to face some difficult situations. You had to push through moments where you wanted to give up. You had to keep going even when you were tired or hurt or disappointed. What I love about the Nine of Wands appearing in your reading is that it honors your resilience. You didn't just passively go through this lesson. You actively fought for your growth. There were probably moments when it would have been easier to slip back into old patterns, to avoid the discomfort of change, to stay in situations that weren't serving you because at least they were familiar. But you didn't do that. You kept choosing growth even when it was hard. This card is also telling me that you've developed incredible strength through this experience. You know that saying about how pressure creates diamonds? That's what happened here. The challenges you faced forced you to develop resources within yourself that you might not have discovered otherwise. You found out you're braver than you thought. You found out you can survive things you thought would break you. You found out that you can stand alone if you need to, even though you prefer partnership and connection. The Nine of Wands sometimes indicates that you might still be a little guarded from this experience, and that's completely understandable. When you've been through something difficult, it makes sense to be more protective of yourself, more discerning about who you let close, more careful about the situations you enter. This isn't about being closed off. It's about being wise. You've learned valuable lessons about protecting your energy and your peace, and the Nine of Wands is saying that's a good thing. I'm also seeing that while you've graduated from this lesson, you're still integrating it. The Nine of Wands person is standing at their post, staying alert, remaining strong. You're in that phase where you've learned the lesson, but you're still practicing it, still reinforcing these new patterns, still proving to yourself that you can maintain these changes. This is the final stretch before complete transformation, and you're handling it beautifully. The fourth card is Two of Swords, and this is where things get really interesting in terms of decisions and that person who wants you back. The Two of Swords is about being at a crossroads, needing to make a choice, weighing options carefully. What I'm seeing here is that as you've gone through this graduation and stepped into your power, there's a decision point emerging. Someone from your past or present is realizing what they're losing or what they lost, and now you're being faced with a choice about how to respond to that. The Two of Swords tells me you're being very thoughtful about this decision. You're not rushing in based on emotion or old attachments. You're not immediately saying yes just because someone wants you back or is showing interest again. Instead, you're sitting with this, you're considering all angles, you're checking in with yourself about what you actually want versus what might feel comfortable or familiar. This is evidence of your growth right here, Libra. The old you might have jumped at the chance to reconcile or reconnect. The new you is asking better questions. What I find significant about this card is the blindfold the figure wears in the traditional imagery. Sometimes we need to block out external noise to hear our inner truth. The Two of Swords is suggesting that you need to tune out what others are saying you should do, what this person is promising they'll do differently, even what your own fear or loneliness might be telling you. You need to connect with your deeper knowing. What does your intuition say? What do your boundaries require? What does your future self need you to choose right now? This card is also acknowledging that this is not an easy decision. Both options have merit. Both paths have potential. That's what makes it a Two of Swords moment rather than an obvious choice. Maybe part of you wants to give this person another chance because you can see they're genuine in their regret and desire to reconnect. But another part of you remembers why things ended or why you created distance in the first place. Both of these parts of you are valid, and the Two of Swords is asking you to honor both perspectives while ultimately choosing what serves your highest good. I'm also getting that the Two of Swords can represent a necessary pause. You don't have to decide right this second. You're allowed to take your time, gather more information, see if actions match words. The person who wants you back needs to understand that you've changed, you've grown, and you're not making decisions from that old place anymore. If they're truly meant to be in your life moving forward, they'll respect your need to be thoughtful about this. Now we come to Four of Swords. And I think this card is so important for where you are right now. The Four of Swords is about rest, recovery, contemplation, and taking time to process everything you've been through. After the battles of the Nine of Wands and the difficult decision represented by the Two of Swords, you need some breathing room. You need space to integrate these experiences and really feel into what you want next. The Four of Swords is giving you permission to step back from the intensity for a bit. You've been doing so much inner work, learning so many lessons, dealing with the complications of someone wanting back into your life. It's okay to take a break from all of that. It's okay to not have all the answers right now. It's okay to tell people you need time before you can give them a response. This is part of honoring yourself and the growth you've achieved. What I'm seeing with this card is that the rest period isn't about avoiding or escaping, it's about restoration and clarity. When we're constantly in motion, constantly processing, constantly dealing with emotional intensity, we can lose touch with our center. The Four of Swords is calling you to return to your center. Spend some time in quiet reflection. Do things that restore your energy rather than drain it. Give yourself permission to not have everything figured out immediately. This card also suggests that some of your best insights and decisions will come during this rest period. When we stop trying so hard to figure everything out and we just allow ourselves to be still, that's often when clarity arrives naturally. You might wake up one morning and just know what you need to do about this person who wants you back. You might be doing something completely unrelated and suddenly understand the deeper meaning of the lesson you just graduated from. Trust that rest is productive, even when it doesn't feel like you're actively working on anything. The Four of Swords is also reminding you that you've been through something significant. Even positive growth and graduation from lessons takes energy. You need recovery time. You need to replenish yourself. This isn't weakness. This is wisdom. You're learning to honor your human needs for rest and restoration, and that's part of the balanced, healthy approach to life that your lesson has been teaching you. The final card I pulled for you is Three of Pentacles. And Libra, this card is so hopeful and exciting for what's coming next. The Three of Pentacles is about collaboration, recognition for your skills, building something meaningful with others, and mastery being acknowledged. What I'm seeing here is that as you graduate from this lesson and step forward with your new awareness and power, there are opportunities opening up for you to work with others in really fulfilling ways. The Three of Pentacles tells me that your growth hasn't gone unnoticed. People are seeing the changes in you, the new level you're operating from, and they want to collaborate with you. This could be in your career, in creative projects, in relationships, or in any area where people come together to build something valuable. You're being recognized as someone who brings something special to the table, someone whose contributions matter, someone who has skills and wisdom worth investing in. This card is also showing me that you're ready for true partnership now in a way you weren't before. The lesson you graduated from taught you about your own worth and power, and now you can enter collaborations from a place of equality. You're not looking for someone to complete you or save you. You're not diminishing yourself to make others comfortable. You're showing up as a whole, capable person who can work with others rather than working for them or having them work for you. This is that Libra gift of true balance and partnership fully activated. What I find beautiful about the Three of Pentacles ending this reading is that it suggests your graduation is leading somewhere concrete and productive. You're not just learning lessons for the sake of learning lessons. You're developing yourself so that you can contribute to something bigger, create something meaningful, connect with others in more authentic ways. The work you've done on yourself is preparing you for the next chapter, and that next chapter involves collaboration, recognition, and building something that has lasting value. In terms of that person who wants you back, the Three of Pentacles might be suggesting that if this reconnection happens, it would need to be on completely different terms. It would need to be a true partnership where both people are showing up as equals, contributing their gifts, respecting each other's value. If this person can meet you at this new level you're operating from, then maybe there's potential for building something together. But if they're still operating from old patterns or expecting you to be who you used to be, then the Three of Pentacles is pointing you toward other collaborations and connections that will honor who you've become. So Libra, let me bring all of this together for you. You are absolutely graduating from a major life lesson right now. The Magician and the Emperor show me that you've learned to own your power, establish your authority, and create structure in your life that serves you. The Nine of Wands honors everything you went through to get to this point and the resilience you developed along the way. The Two of Swords indicates there's a decision to be made regarding someone who wants you back, and you're being thoughtful and discerning rather than reactive. The Four of Swords reminds you to rest and integrate all of this growth before making big decisions. And the Three of Pentacles promises that this graduation is opening doors to meaningful collaborations and recognition for who you've become. The overall message is clear. You've done the work. You've learned the lesson. You've grown in ways that have fundamentally changed who you are and how you operate in the world. Someone from your past or present is noticing these changes and wanting to reconnect with you, but you're no longer making decisions from that old place of people-pleasing or needing external validation. You're taking your time, honoring yourself, and being strategic about who gets access to this new version of you. My sense is that you should be really proud of yourself, Libra. The growth represented in these cards is significant. You've moved from giving your power away to owning it completely. You've learned to balance being kind with being boundaried. You've discovered that you can stand alone, and that makes you a better partner when you choose to connect with others. This is major personal development work, and you've done it beautifully. As for the person who wants you back, I think the cards are saying to take your time with that decision. Don't rush it. See if their actions match their words. Notice if they can respect the new boundaries and standards you've set. Pay attention to whether they're interested in who you actually are now, or if they want you to go back to being who you were before. The right people for your next chapter will celebrate your growth, not resist it. I'm really excited for what's ahead for you, Libra. This graduation marks the end of one cycle and the beginning of something new. You're entering a phase where you get to apply everything you've learned, where you get to build from this foundation of self-knowledge and personal power. The universe is supporting you in this transition. Trust yourself. Trust the process. Trust that you've earned this graduation and everything good that comes with it.